In a quiet but significant move, India has withdrawn from the Ayni Airbase in Tajikistan, its only fully operational overseas airbase. For nearly 2 decades, which is 20 years, Ayni symbolized India's reach to Central Asia, offering strategic depth near Afghanistan and Pakistan. This withdrawal marks not just the end of an era, but also a shift in India's foreign policy priorities from continental presence to a more maritime and diplomatic strategy. So hello and welcome. You're watching Next IAS English. Let's understand today what made Ayni Airbase so important, why India stepped back, and how this decision reshapes our regional influence. This development marks a major shift in India's external defense posture. The Ayni Airbase in Tajikistan was India's only fully operational overseas airbase, and it symbolizes India's attempt to expand its strategic reach into Central Asia. Its withdrawal, reported in November 2025, came quietly without any official announcement, but the implications are significant. Ayni was not just a base, it was a strategic choke point, a bridgehead for India in a region dominated by powers like Russia, China and Islamic republics bordering Afghanistan. So let us understand Ayni Airbase and the mystery behind the Ayni Airbase, and what factors led to India's withdrawal and what it means for India's future strategic ambitions. Let's start with the background first. So, understanding the background, which is Ayni Airbase located near Dushanbe, Tajikistan. This is the location, this is where it is located. The Dushanbe is the capital of Tajikistan and only about 100 kilometers from Afghan border, and it is built by the Indian Air Force in early 2000s. So India realized the importance of having strategic depth beyond its borders, especially in regions close to Pakistan and Afghanistan after the Kargil War. So in the early 2000s, India helped renovate this Soviet era base. It invested nearly $70 million in this airbase, extending the runway to accommodate Sukhoi and Mirage aircrafts, build hangars and set up advanced navigation and air traffic systems also. This was part of India's broader effort to establish, Central Asian footprint, aligning with its extended neighborhood policy. For nearly 2 decades, which is 20 years. For nearly 2 decades, Indian military engineers and personnel maintained the base in cooperation with Tajik Air Force, though operational control was limited due to Russian influence. So, moving forward, let's talk about why Ayni was important. Now, let's talk about why is Ayni Airbase so important. See, the strategic importance of Ayni lies in its location and symbolism. Now, geographically, it provided India a vantage point to monitor developments in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, and Xinjiang in any regional crisis, and such as the Afghan Taliban's resurgence or terror movements in the region. Ayni could act as a forward base for intelligence or logistics. So, it also enhanced India's ability to project power into Central Asia, and a region rich in hydrocarbons, uraniums and rare earth minerals, and crucial for connectivity initiatives also. Now, diplomatically, Ayni demonstrated that India could operate beyond its immediate neighborhood, similar to major powers like the United States, Russia and China. And from a defense perspective, it complemented India's maritime reach in the Indian Ocean by adding an aerial dimension to its continental strategy. Moving forward, let's talk about the timeline of India's role. Now, what is the timeline of India's role? So, from 2001 to 2005, India refurbishes the Soviet era base. India refurbished this base. Then in 2007, Tajikistan-India defense cooperation strengthened. This also happened in 2007. Then from 2010 to 2015, joint usage talks with Russia and Tajikistan. Talks happened between Russia and Tajikistan, and for jointly using it. Then in 2022, gradual withdrawal begins. Now, 2022 से एक slowly and gradually a withdrawal sort of thing began. with the US withdrawing from Afghanistan, the region's security landscape changed a little. And from 2022 onwards, as I'm talking, India began a gradual withdrawal of assets and personals, and by late 2025, which is now, India officially ceased operations at Ayani. India completely vacated this Ayni Airbase, and this timeline shows that the withdrawal was not a sudden policy reversal but a very calculated, phased decision influenced by the evolving geopolitics and the limited utility. Moving forward, let's talk about the reasons behind the withdrawal. Now let's talk about what were the reasons behind the withdrawal. So there are several interlinked reasons. Okay, there are diplomatic reasons, there are geopolitical reasons, and then there are operational challenges as well. Let's talk about the diplomatic factors first. Russia's growing control over Tajik defense assets and limited operational independence for India. So it was never fully comfortable with India's independent military presence there, and Tajikistan's defense sector is heavily dependent on Russian security. So Russia and security guarantees, and therefore it couldn't allow India complete control. So these were the diplomatic factors. Now let's talk about the geopolitical shifts. China's growing influence via Belt and Road Initiative (BRI) and Tajikistan's increasing alignment with Russia-China bloc. Now, see, Tajikistan is facing economic vulnerabilities and has tilted closer to Russia-China bloc a little, and this has reduced India's diplomatic space as well. After the Taliban takeover in 2021, India lost its natural corridor through Afghanistan, making Ayani logistically isolated. So these were the geopolitical shifts. Now let's look at the operational challenges. Now, high maintenance cost and limited strategic utility post US withdrawal from Afghanistan. Without a supply line or staging post in Afghanistan, India couldn't sustain large-scale operations from the base, and the base no longer served the same intelligence or tactical purpose post-Afghan war. So these were the operational issues. Now, moving forward, let's talk about the implications for India. Now, what will be the implications for India? Let's talk about that. This withdrawal has both strategic cost as well as opportunities. So on the downside, India loses its only airbase outside national borders and reducing its operational depth in Central Asia. It weakens India's air surveillance capability near Pakistan's western border, and it leaves a vacuum that China and Pakistan could exploit. They have room to exploit now, especially as China is building deeper security partnerships in Tajikistan. So these were the negative sides. Now on the positive side, redirection of resources towards Indian Ocean and Indo-Pacific theatre strengthens focus on Chabahar Port and North-South transport corridor, and may pave way for new strategic partnership, example with Iran or Oman. So the focus now can shift to maritime partnerships like Quad and to strengthening assets in maybe Andaman, Nicobar, Oman, and Mauritius also, it is possibility. India is also using Chabahar Port in Iran now, and the International North-South Transport Corridor, which is INSTC, so to sustain economic and strategic access to Central Asia without needing a physical base. So that can also be done. Now, moving forward, let's talk about the wider geopolitical context. Now let's talk about what is the wider geopolitical context in this. See, Central Asia today is one of the world's most contested regions, as you have already been seeing. Russia-China axis dominating Central Asia post-Ukraine war. Moscow has become more dependent on China, both economically and diplomatically. Now, this has allowed Beijing to expand its influence under the Shanghai Cooperation Organization (SCO) umbrella. Now, the United States withdrawal from Afghanistan left a security vacuum that neither Russia nor China has fully managed to stabilize. And amid all this, between all this, India's presence, once symbolized by Ayani, has been now reduced. So, however, India remains active diplomatically through the India Central Asia Summit launched in 2022. India is strengthening political and economic cooperation. Now, Through the SCO also, India continues to engage with regional security mechanisms. So even without a base, India is trying to maintain a strategic presence through multilateral diplomacy, right? So this is what is happening right now. Moving forward, let's talk about the way forward for India. Now, what will be the way forward for India? Let's discuss that. See, the lessons from Ayani is that strategic presence doesn't only come from military bases, it comes from sustained engagement. For the future, India should, number one, India should build flexible defense logistic arrangements similar to LEMOA or BECA with Central Asian and West Asian partners. And expand the Chabahar Port project to give landlocked Central Asia a viable route to Indian Ocean bypassing the Pakistan. So that is also, connectivity through Chabahar. And then energy diplomacy, access to Central Asian hydrocarbons. Then Asia to reduce dependence on unsustainable suppliers. Deepening counter-terror cooperation, especially to track radical networks operating across Afghanistan, Pakistan and Central Asia. So yeah, this. And then lastly, explore dual-use civil-military infrastructure partnerships. Now scholarship, IT, training, medical diplomacy we can use to build people-to-people influence where hard power cannot operate. We can operate with soft power. Moving forward, let's talk about the linkages from UPSC mains. Now let's talk about why this is important. So for UPSC mains, this topic fits perfectly under GS paper 2, which is international relations, India's foreign policy in Central Asia and impact of greater power politics, Russia, China, US, the triad, then on India. Now what will be the impact? Then GS paper 3, again security, the role of overseas bases in India's defense strategy and regional security implications post Ayani withdrawal. So these are certain important pointers that you need to cover thoroughly. And strategic bases and their role in securing national interest. You can also expect analytical questions such as discuss the implications of India's withdrawal from Ayni Airbase on its Central Asia outreach and regional security strategy, or something like, can India sustain its strategic influence in Central Asia without physical military presence? So such questions can always come up. Now moving forward, let's talk about the next slide, which is quick revision MCQ. Now let's talk about we have talked about a lot of different dimensions of this particular topic, and here's a quick question for you. The Ayni Airbase was India's only A, naval base in the Indian Ocean, B, overseas air base, C, space research station, D, border radar post. We have already discussed this question multiple times in the video. So if you are listening attentively, you will be able to answer this question, and I want you to answer this question in the comment section below. And yes, those who will answer it correctly, I will pin the comment and I will like and reply the comment as well. Moving forward, let's talk about the conclusion. Now, to conclude, to sum up, it's important that Ayani symbolizes India's strategic ambition in Eurasia. That's true. Withdrawal marks a tactical retreat, not strategic disengagement. So as I've already mentioned, without a physical military presence also, India is actively participating in diplomacy. And lastly, India now focuses on maritime strength and multipolar diplomacy, as we've already discussed through Chabahar Port and multiple other things. India can be actively participating in diplomacy. So this was all about this particular topic, and I hope you found this video informative. If you found this video informative, do like, share and subscribe our channel, and drop your thoughts on this India's decision of withdrawing from Ayni Airbase. What do you think? Is it correct? Is it wrong? Just tell us in the comment section below. And that is it for today. I will see you in another deep dive video. Until then, bye-bye. Take care.